We are in the control room for Studio 2, and we're just going to go over where things are in this room and what you'll expect when you come in to use Studio 2. So if you are a producer that's checking this space out, then you will have taken a class on this. So this is something maybe you've sent to a crew member to get an overview of. But when you come into the room, a producer will have already signed a contract, gotten a key, gotten the checklist for the space. So no one would be able to get into here until a producer is on site. And then once you come in here, everything is going to be off unless there was a producer who was using it just before you. So most likely it'll look like this, and then it'll also, this TV will be off as well, and this remote is here. So usually when I come in, if everything is off, then I'm going to turn on the multi-view TV first, and then the audio board is here, power's in the back right. And then we do ask that you do not turn that off. So once you leave, you'll have a checklist for how we expect this place to be left, but we ask that you do not turn that off. And then you've got your Carbonite Ross switcher, so this is your director. We also ask that you do not turn this off. We don't even teach how to do that, but it is asleep, so it stays up and running at all times, but it is asleep essentially. So you can just move the transition bar, wake it up. Things will sort of come up as far as colors and the video sources here. And then this is our camera operator. This is the Panasonic camera control unit. And so in this space, this is doing everything that you need for your cameras, because they are only the 3 robotic cameras in the studio. You do not have human operated cameras. And the power button is on the back left. It's a switch. So those are your 3 main devices. You've got your camera control unit, your all of your audio or all of your video sources are coming into this Carbonite, and that is your switcher, so that's your director. And then all of your audio sources are coming into this audio board, and then you'll just hit yes to recall that user interface, and now you have the ability to mix your audio. This is the microphone for the TalkBack, and in the class we also have video on this board. We actually have videos on all of these individual items that go more in depth, but this is the TalkBack button for talking into the studio. We also here have the ability, it's not used really at all, but if you are interested in it, then we can get you set up with this, but you have the ability to talk to talent in there. So if you have a talk show host that wants to wear an earpiece, it's just kind of a skill that you have to get used to talking when you have an earpiece in your ear, which is not something that everyone's comfortable doing, but that is something that you're welcome to use. Whereas this microphone talks into the whole room from a speaker, this can talk into an earpiece. And then over here in the corner, we've got our Pro Presenter software, and that is connected to this Mac Mini computer that is mounted here. So it's just a power button right there on the corner. And then that has the white Apple mouse and keyboard that are here. This mouse is wireless, so it does have a power on the bottom. If it's ever dead, then you can plug it in there. You can just kind of take the plug from the keyboard and let that charge. Even just a few minutes will get you maybe what you need. And then we've got this monitor is for our expression software, and that's your graphics. And this is, you may not be able to see it, or if you can tilt down, but it is a computer underneath, and it's a power button underneath. It's rack mounted underneath the countertop there. So again, that's something we teach in the class. So if you have any questions on that, grab staff if you don't know. But there is a blue, it'll light up blue power button underneath on a computer there. So this is for video playback. This is for graphics. And then the graphics computer uses the black mouse and keyboard that are here. So there's a lot going on over there with some mice and keyboards. And then if you want to plug in to the expression software, you want to get graphics that you've pre-made, there is a USB here that says CG USB right there. And then everything else, nothing else here is relevant. This is our waveform monitor. We have a separate video on this, but this is showing your exposure levels of your cameras. It also It does peaking, it does false color, and has a histogram on there as well. So that's really useful. And then there's ways to send to the what feed you're sending there, and that would be something we would show on that Carbonite video. And then this monitor is another video source. There is another Mac Mini computer that is mounted here underneath the monitor. And you can power that up. And this is a mirrored image. So whatever you have up on this screen is going to be a video source and an audio source. And it's good for showing YouTube videos, maybe news articles, websites, things like that. Whereas the ProPresenter software is good for your intros, your bumpers, your credits. This one's better suited for showing things more on the internet. And then we've got, it has its own keyboard and mouse. So again, it gets a little crazy over here too. And then lastly, I guess second to last, we've got our teleprompter. So there's this little computer down here, and it's got the power on the far right. Power that up, and that goes to this monitor here. And that is going to be our teleprompter software, which is called, the company is called QScript, and the software is called QIT. And so we teach that in the class, the studio class as well. And so it is going to a controller here where you can control the speed and jump between different stories. And then it also has its own keyboard and mouse as well, the black. So just know that the white keyboard and mouse in the room are going to an Apple computer, so both here and also in that far corner. And then a black keyboard and mouse are going to the PC computers in the room. And then now lastly, we've got our recorders here. So there are 3 of the same KeyPro. The brand is AJA, and they're KeyPros. We have the hard drives. You'll grab them from the equipment room. And these can do 4K, down convert, also to HD. You're recording in Apple ProRes. And then there's also a Blackmagic recorder up here that records your program feed that you can also compress down to H.264 if you want a smaller file, and that does just HD. So that is an overview of the control room, and we'll finish up if you come up here. So in here we are in Studio 2. So we've got camera 201, 202, 203. So we have the 3 robotic, what we call PTZ, pan, tilt, zoom cameras. So we're in Studio 2, camera 1, Studio 2, camera 2, and so on. So camera 1, 2, and 3. And then M1 is a Media Store 1, Media Store 2, Media Store 3. There are 4 total. We just ran out of room on the TV. So you do have 4 media stores that are coming from this computer over here on the Expression software. And then we've got ProPresenter 2. So that is coming from this video software. Play 2, which is playback, that is coming from this software, or this computer here. And then we've got Preview and Program here. So whatever we bring up on the Preview bus is going to show there, with the ability to then transition it over to Program. So whatever you have on Program is your final output. That's what you're recording, and maybe going out live if you're going out live from the room. So for more information on each one of these devices, we have other training videos that you can look up on this page as well.